What's up, guys? And first things first, I need to clarify. This is a fantasy video. And not one of those fantasy videos where you imagine Kylie Jenner in your bed and she's begging you to, I don't know. I don't know, again, where I was going with that. Look, this is my UFC fantasy. And that might sound crazy, freaky, zesty. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. But that's what it is. These are fights that need to be seen this year. And honestly, the way Dana White gets fights done, we're probably going to see maybe one of these. And I got a whole list. I got like 10, 15 fights that we as fans really are dying to see. So, yeah, let's get to it. We're going to go division by division, starting at the flyweights. And the first flyweight fight we really need to see, I think, is the winner of Kopp and Royval versus the winner of Kai Kara-France and Pantoja. Honestly, I think Pantoja beats Kai Kara-France. And if Kai Kara-France beats Pantoja, that might be a rematch with, like, just out of respect to Pantoja. Out of anybody, he deserves it. So, yeah, but on the flip side of that, I think this Royval-Kopp fight, it's really fucking, it's entertaining. I really can't imagine this being a boring fight. You know, even though I don't like Kopp because he's so fucking arrogant, and it's not like the arrogance Conor used to have, where it's like, as people say the fucking word aura, like, it's not like he walks into the room and commands the room and he's like, you could just tell the confidence is legitimate and built through hard work. It's like with Kopp, it's just like, he's just a cocky motherfucker. And Royval's like a good ass dude. Like, he seems like a chill ass. You never know with these guys. You know, you think on the internet you know somebody, you don't know them. You don't know me from these videos, and it's hard to say. But as it comes to these fighters as people, I'm leaning Royval. He seems like a genuine dude, and he puts in the work. He's fought the best, and I think he beats Kopp. So I think the winner of that fight fights the winner of the KKF Pantoja fight. The next fight we need to see in that division is Tatsuro versus Moreno. Moreno's in that #1 contender conversation. You know, Tatsuro definitely isn't just because he lost to Royval. It was a hell of a fight, and he showed a lot of fucking heart to go to the decision because he was getting pieced up in that, I think it was the third, and it didn't look good for him. He had nothing on the hands for Royval. Royval's next level when it comes to the hands. But same with Moreno. Moreno's really good. So I think that'd be a good ass matchup, and I'm excited to see it. Next division is bantamweight division. We know Merab's about to fight Sugar. That's going to be a good fight. I really hope Sugar is able to perform at a higher level than he was in, you know, the Sphere, because he couldn't get off his shots. It felt like he was too scared to get close because he was scared to get taken down. I know he had the torn labrum in his hip, but I don't think that's a valid excuse. You know, you just don't take the fight if it's really that bad. You don't fucking lose and then use it as an excuse. Like, he lost that fight, like 100%, no excuse. And I think this time around he's going to be well. I paused there. I don't know what that was. It was like a fucking brain fart. But no, I think he's going to be way better prepared, and it should be a good fight. But I think the winner of that fight fights Corey. I think Corey deserves it. He was a #1 contender and #1 ranked before fighting Umar. And he didn't need to take that Umar fight. He really didn't. He didn't need to fight some guy who's a prospect, who's, I think, just in the top 10 to 15, and, you know, undefeated, a Dagestani on top of that, who's a dangerous fighter. He doesn't need to take that fight. He's the #1 ranked. He could just wait and just take the fucking title shot. But he wanted to clear out that division, show he's the best, and that's why you gotta respect Corey. And then he just fought David Figge and fucked him up. It was like really bad, and people were saying like it was a freak accident that his knee and everything. Like, bro, he did that 100% with that 50-50 shit. I don't know shit about jiu-jitsu, so I don't know the ins and outs, but I believe Corey practiced that for sure. So I think Corey deserves the next title shot. Meanwhile, I think Umar needs to fight Peter Yan. That's gonna be a good ass matchup. You know, Peter Yan is a beast. He's on a tear in that division. He's lost to both these guys in the title shot. So he doesn't deserve the title shot over Corey. I think Corey deserves it over Peter Yan. Even though he beat Corey, that was a short notice fight for Corey. And it's like, I don't know. I think Corey deserves it way more than Peter Yan. And meanwhile, Umar needs a fight. I know his hand is all fucked up and he'll be coming back from that, but I think if they could set up Peter Yan versus Umar, That's a banger fight. That would be fucking entertaining. So definitely want to see that. Next division, the featherweights. The featherweights, there are a bunch of different fighters in that #1 contender, conversation. I think Movsar will get it. I think that's the fight we need to see, Movsar versus Volk. And I think in the meanwhile, we put Arnold Allen, who's, to me, everyone says I'm biased, and it's true. I think Arnold Allen is the most dangerous fighter in that division. He lost to a peak Max Holloway, like the best version we've ever seen of Max Holloway. Took him to a decision yes, it was somewhat of a one-sided fight. Out of 4-1 Max, it could be 3-2 Max. Max won that fight, no matter what. And then the fight after, he takes on an undefeated Movsar, and I thought he won that fight. He got points deducted, so that's the reason I think Movsar won that fight. But Arnold looked like a beast in that fight. And then he goes, beats Giga Chikadze, and the reality is he only lost to two of the best guys there are, and they were both decision losses. And one, I think he won. So I think Arnold Allen is a really good ass fighter. I think you put Arnold versus Yair, and winner of that gets #1 contender. 100%. They get the title shot. And I think that's going to be a good stylistic matchup. Yair is so long and quick, and Arnold's so explosive. I think that fight is going to be a fucking movie. Next, I think Leroy Murphy. He's coming up. He just beat Josh Emmett. He has a lot of promise. To me, I think he's the most boring fighter on the whole fucking roster. I do not like watching the guy. I don't know how people find him entertaining or think he's going to win a title, but give him a real test. Give him Diego Lopez. I think Diego Lopez, he's going to need a fight. He's always doubted. He'll fight anybody. Next division. Okay, so the lightweight division is very interesting right now. We got Ilya coming up to fight Charles. That's going to be a great fight, and there's a huge conversation to be had of who is the #1 contender in that division. Is it Justin Gaethje? Is it Arman? Is it Patty after his crazy win against Chandler? I say we have all these guys fight and find out. I really think we need to see Arman be first in line out of those three. I think he deserves it. He beat Charles, and Charles is getting the title shot. I think Arman's first. So maybe give him the easier of the fights. I think you put Patty versus Justin. I think that's going to be a banger fight anyway. The promotion, the whole lead up, that fight is fucking, that's a co-main event or main event. That's a banger. That fight's going to be fucking nuts. And you give Arman, I don't know. I think you maybe just let him be #1 contender. You just give him the winner of Ilya versus Charles, and hopefully if Ilya just fucking kills Charles, he's gonna kill Arman. I really think he does. So let them fight. And meanwhile, lower in the rankings, I don't even know if he's top 15. Mauricio Rufy. To me, he's the most dangerous fighter in that division and the most entertaining, stylistically the cleanest. He reminds me of like a peak Conor McGregor coming up back in the day. I think you give him a top 15 fight. I really think you should give Rufy, there's a bunch of people you can name. You can name Grant Dawson, you can name a bunch of people. But I think you give him someone in the top 10, like Dan Hooker. You give Dan Hooker Rufy a good fight, because Dan Hooker is going to scrap every single fucking time. That would be a banger, bro. So I doubt Hooker is going to take it. He has his eyes on a top 5 fight for sure, being that I think he's near the top 5. I think he might be 6 or 7. If he declines a fight against a guy who's not ranked, I get it. But that fight would be fucking fireworks. So yeah, that's pretty much my lightweight dream fights. Let's go into welterweight. In the welterweight division, we now have JDM versus Islam. That's gonna be a good ass fight. I got JDM winning, which a lot of people are. It's even money. So JDM really turned a lot of heads with that fucking win against Bilal. And I feel like Bilal's the perfect warm-up to fight somebody like Islam. It's the perfect warm-up. So yeah, it sets him up very well to beat Islam. But regardless, let's talk about #1 contender. There's some fights we need to see. We need to see Sean Brady versus Ian Gary. And I think Ian Gary wins that fight. But it's not going to be easy. Sean Brady's basically with Bilal, like same style of fighting. I'd say less pressure. Like when Bilal went against Sean Brady, Bilal was the one applying more pressure. And Sean Brady didn't know how to react. But then Sean Brady goes and beats Leon Edwards way worse than fucking Bilal did. So it's hard to say if he's a worse Bilal, but he's like Bilal. But I think Ian Gary wins that fight. Meanwhile, I think we gotta see the winner of Usman Buckley fight Shavkat. Because Shavkat's #1 contender, but there's so many guys who are making a making an argument for them being number one contender. And if Shavkat wants to show he really is the number one contender, fight one of these guys. I know he fought Ian Gary, but that fight wasn't convincing. You know, it could have gone either way. Yes, I had Shavkat winning, but in that last round, I think everybody was shocked that Ian Gary had him on the floor, gasping for air, looking like he was about to die. So, I don't know. I think you give Shavkat the winner of Buckley Usman, and the winner of that would definitely be number one contender. But right now, everyone's going to say yes, Shavkat's number one contender. Next division, the middleweight division. It's panning out good with Khamzat fighting Dricus, but for the rest of the division, I feel like there's a lot of guys who are at the later ends of their career, whether it be Izzy, whether it be Whitaker, whether it be wow, I can't even speak, whether it be Strickland. Those three guys, I don't see them fighting for a title ever again. So I think we just made fun fights. I think for number one contender, we all know it's got to be Imavov versus Kyle. It just has to be. That's going to be the best fight you can make in that division, besides Dricus versus Khamzat. But you have those two fight, and they fight the winner of Dricus versus Khamzat. 100%, no question asked. I think for these older guys, you give them fights with the younger guys. Like I like Whitaker taking on DeRitter, and DeRitter's not younger, but he's a new face. And you give Fluffy, which is Anthony Hernandez, a fight against Izzy. You know, I think that would be a good ass fight. And I don't know about Strickland. I've never been a Strickland fan. He's too abrasive for me. The way he acts, everything. He's too arrogant, too cocky, too know-it-all. He knows more. He's a genius, and I got nothing against the guy. I'm sure if we met in person, it'd be chill and like he'd be a chill guy. It's just he seems like a bit much, bro. He doesn't seem like a. And it's hard to say, bro. Like I said earlier, you don't know any of these people. You only know their internet personas, but. Yeah, like, I could give a shit if I ever see Strickland fight again. That's just my honest opinion. But, yeah, that's enough imaginary fights for middleweight. Let's get to light heavyweight. Light heavyweight is kind of dead. It's not a fun division, you know? Outside of Magomed Ankalaev and Alex having their rematch, there's no real crazy fights to be made. I guess you could put Yuri and Olberg, the only two other guys in that number one contender conversation, have them fight each other. You know, I feel bad for Jan Blachowicz because he's had some losses and draws against the best, and he's like always in that conversation. And now after losing to Olberg, it's like, what the fuck is gonna happen with him, you know? But yeah, put Olberg versus Yuri. That's gonna be a fun ass fight, and put Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira in the rematch. That's gonna be a great fight too. So that's pretty much the only fights you can make in that division. Like there's really nothing else going on. So yeah, heavyweight division. The heavyweight division is kind of like the light heavyweight division. It's boring as fuck. It's the same guys, stagnant. It's just fucking the same faces. It's nothing crazy. And there's only one fight everybody wants to fucking see in that division. And it's Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. Besides stating the obvious that we need to see that fight, I'm trying to think of other fights we need to see in that division. You know, Cyril Gane just beat Volkov in a fight he did not win. Everybody knows. Even Dana White went up to Volkov after the fight and said, yeah, you got robbed. Because that was horse shit. Cyril Gane looked like shit. When they announced Cyril Gane won the fight, Cyril Gane looked around like, fuck, I won that? Like, he didn't even think he won the fight. And he did. So everyone knows Volkov's ahead of Cyril Gane in those rankings. And the only guy in that conversation, even though he lost to Curtis Blades, is John Almeida. I think Almeida versus Volkov, number one contender fight. You put Cyril Gane versus Curtis Blades. But even then, it's like all those fights suck. We only want to see Tom Aspinall, John Jones, bro. Like, this is the only fight anybody wants to fucking see. And it's like, I think it'll be the biggest fight in UFC history. Outside of Khabib and Conor. I think it'll be like that level of, you know, fucking, I don't know what a good word is for fucking gargantuan. Like, fucking, you know, the shit. Like, that's the fucking fight. But, yeah. What are your guys' overall thoughts on this topic? You know, did I miss a dream fight that we need to see this year? Because I think I covered it pretty well. I went through all the divisions. There might be a couple guys that I didn't think about that, you know, are a couple fights away from number one contender or getting a title shot, but I got the direct closest guys to the title shots and put dream matches. Like, dream matches. Like, these fights would be fucking incredible to see. So, yeah, let me know in the comments if I missed one, and yeah, thank you for watching.